Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Now, are you ready for a really tenuous connection? Today's map is based on one of the truly great American cities, especially with regards to culture. Right, what happens in America, staying with America here, what happens in America on the 4th of July? Well, amongst other things, in the evening, lots of fireworks, firecrackers, whistles and bangs go off. Well, if you can hear any swizzles and bangs going off in the background where I am, you may not be able to, but if you can, I apologise. I am recording this on the evening of the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. Yes, it's a bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night, and to the closest that we have in the United Kingdom to a 4th of July with regards to firecrackers. Okay, before we go any further, I do have to do one last thing, and that is your daily reminder. Get that finger waggling, please. And that's right, hit the like button now, it will support the channel, and I thank you very muchly in advance, you lovely, lovely people. And so without any further ado, let's have a look at today's map. It's LA West Side True 1-to-1 by Ami Polizei Funk. We've done Ami Polizei Funk's 1-to-1s before, we'll talk more about that in a moment. There's your start square with a beachfront as well. We'll look at that in a lot of detail later. And resources, not really set for the new DLC, but it's more of a ploppers map, I would suggest, if you're trying to match up LA 1-to-1 scale. And of course, if you want to match up LA 1-to-1 scale, although there are no requirements for this particular map at all, there's a suggestion maybe to use the overlay of E2. And there's also a tip regarding prop it up there for swapping over the trees that have already been placed, because all the trees are very vanilla. So with all that in mind and advice regarding overlayers and such, let's have a look at the actual map itself. Now, the problem with 1-to-1 maps, as we've seen several times before, is it's very difficult within game to do a 1-to-1 scale map and for it to look really good indeed. The Berlin True, we gave it a total of 11 stars. Well, I'll say I gave it a total of 11 stars. 3 for detail and 4 each for aesthetics and for gameplay potential. Today's map, I feel, doesn't quite have that same amount of polish and pizzazz, which is a bit strange really when you consider that LA is really the home of pizzazz. If there's a city with more pizzazz in the world than LA, I don't know which one it is. I don't actually know too much about LA. What I know is what I've seen in the movies and what I've learnt from Grand Theft Auto, which of course, there's a lovely intersection by the way. Of course, Grand Theft Auto is based on LA, it's not actually LA. Now this is a very nice intersection, there's no street light glitching through that I've seen or spotted, and you're probably going, yes BonBon, yes, but I've seen something you haven't. No you haven't. No you haven't. You think that's going to pass me by? Do you think that's going to pass me by? Let's quickly go into downtown, shall we? And, oh, hello. How dare you go straight through me? That's an outrage. And, yes, there might be a little bit of, oh, hello. Slaloming required to get into the downtown. Yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight, I think. Oops. Never mind. Let's carry on as if nothing happened. Nothing to see here, guys. The city planners will all be fired. Now, we are elevated pretty much all the way, but from what I've seen of the movies, the highways are pretty much elevated most of the way. I could be completely wrong here, but it's what I've seen in the movies, and of course there's a degree of that, of course, in GTA, which I keep referring back to because it's really my best source of information regarding LA. We have done LA maps in the past as well. We did one fairly recently. In fact, we've done a couple very recently, and this one is definitely the closest in terms of realism, which you'd expect of a one-to-one map. This tunnel in GTA seems a lot longer to me. I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying my reference point is it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I know what goes over there, and I don't have an issue. It makes sense because I've got a GTA background. Today's drinking game. Every time I say GTA. Okay. Anyways, highways. We are going along the bottom of this cliff front here towards the start square. You'd be pleased to know. Ignore anything on the beach that looks prehistoric. There's a reason for that in a moment. We've got this little outflow here. What? It's a little bit of a stream or something. Something like that. I don't know. But anyway, there's your start square. Right there. We're going to look at that in an awful lot more detail after the asset review break. I promise you, because you might be looking at that. Ignore the prehistoric monuments, okay? I popped that there, not Amy. That's there as a marker for me for later on. It's very important that a little bit of interesting change of lanes going on there. Yes, I put them there very specifically for reasons that will make a lot of sense a little bit later on. But for now, all you need to know is, these standing stones on the beach. It's not a creator issue. It's a reviewer issue. I'm a reviewer of all things. Anyway, we're following the highway all the way along, and I'm not sure where this goes to. I've got another river outflow there. I'm not sure where this goes to. We do have a rail connection. We do, and this one goes once again into a tunnel. Now, once again, I'm going to let it go because I don't know differently. But you've got an elevated road going over a tunnel, which maybe we just could have had a cutting. I've obviously a one-to-one, so therefore I'm guessing there is a tunnel with an elevated section of road over the top of it. I don't know. We do have this little tree here who's trying to spoil the show, though. Cutting in to the catenaries there. Needs to be moved back or changed or cropped or something. But other than that, it's all happy. It's a happy tree. Bob would be pleased. Here, this is all good. I thought that'd be a bit too low, but that is absolutely lovely under there. We come back up to free cam as we scoot along towards the coast. There's not really too much to say about the rail. The rail's fine. There is, like I say, just the one rail connection. And if that's based on real life, who am I to grumble? Okay. Now, today's asset, which will be coming along in a moment, is one I think you'll appreciate. And then don't forget we've got factoids coming up as well in the theme review. See, I've got nothing more to say about this map. We'll be back. Plenty to talk about after the asset break, I promise you. Right, all aboard the train to Assetville. Okay, hang on to your hats because it's a nice one again. We've got some really nice ones all week. This one's the mid-rise studio apartments by Bark to Baroque. And I was corrected last time when I said back to Baroque. I know it's not back to Baroque, Bark to Baroque. I failed on that occasion. I do fail often. But Bark to Baroque doesn't with their asset. Look at this, it's a beaut. And the old windows on this end as well. It could stand alone on its own, or you could push it together, make a whole block of them, and it'd be beautiful. It's a lovely, lovely thing. Lovely, lovely thing. And a good size as well. It's going to go really well in Asset World this coming Sunday. Watch out for that particular show coming very, very soon, where we use all the assets that you see in What's Map Monday to Saturday. Right, there we go. Mid-rise studio apartment by Bark to Baroque. Today's beautiful asset of the day. As we head over to Themington Island for another look at this week's theme and LUT combo, it's Winoochiu Basin theme by It's OK with the custom built Winoochiu Basin colour correction. I know some of you like this, some of you are like me, and I think the pavement's a little bit too white. But other than that, it's a lovely, lovely theme. Right, what have we got in terms of factoids? We're talking about the red part of the east at the moment. The Chinese invented playing cards. When do you reckon? 2:30? No, I kid you. 1120 AD was when the playing card was invented, and 20 million people died of starvation and influenza in the former Soviet Union in the decade 1914 to 1924. 20 million people from starvation and influenza in just 10 years. Nasty times. We are so lucky these days. So lucky. Okay, right. Back to LA West Side True. We have a crossover of the shipping lanes, which, as interesting as it is, could cause some ships to glitch through each other. One goes straight off the map, the other one goes right into the docks right there. Quite like that, actually, as it provides plenty of options. Will the ships make it through the dock entry? I don't know, but I quite like the idea. Water flow flows all the way down here, and then it hits that end bit there, and it kind of gets pushed back into the docks. So if you're going to do any sewage outflow into what is the storm drains, that could be a bit of a stinky problem in your docks area there. We head down to the start square, which is over here. Wrong outflow. There we go. The water flow at the start square is a little bit low, to say the least. Not really much going on there, so you're going to have some problems unless you're using custom assets to kick the build off. Now, I do like, does look quite realistic. I think the theme, well, choosing a better theme, because we are running with no theme, and we're using the realistic 1 to 2 LUT. But I think a better theme and LUT would bring out this a lot better, as there is no suggested. Oh, look, we've got a little lake in the mountains here. Yeah, because there is no suggested, I always go with, well, just what is suggested, and the generic LUT. And I'm liking some of these tree and bush placements. See the way they are hugging the crevices. The crevices of the mountains. There's been a bit of time spent putting these trees in a believable manner, and I've got to say, I applaud the effort made. And I mean, I know we're using a terrain party map here, but it's done quite nicely. It's done quite nicely. It's just trying to get, I'm just putting the terrain lines on here just to see how flat the land is. It's pretty flat. It's pretty flat. Of course, the problem is always going to be when you're doing a map like this, with the roads and the rails, actually just trying to get them to match up and work with the terrain. But if you can do that, you're going to have a very good looking city here, and a very realistic one-to-one city here as well, if that's something you really want to have a go at. Well, having a look here, we've got the docks and a little private beach. Completely blissfully unaware of this, but looks like there's a little beach there going on. I'm sure it's a real thing. Why else would Amy do that? Some slight glitching along the edge of the docks. Very difficult to do straight lines where it doesn't want to do straight lines, especially along here. Oh, look at that. They've done a reasonable job there, I think. If we come along here, we've got this canal. I think this leads down to what is called Little Venice. Unfortunately, the water from the canal doesn't quite make it down to what I think is Little. I could be wrong. I don't know, but that to me looks like it's supposed to be the very posh area, very well-to-do yachting area. This in GTA is where you have the lifeboat station. GTA, have a drink. Have another drink, GTA. Just have a drink for no reason, GTA. The beach is fine. We've got some palm trees on the beach, which you may want to upgrade, of course, using Prop It Up. Very nice indeed. And then down here, we've got this outflow going on here. And I think this is the Santa Monica Pier, or a suggestion of where it's supposed to be at the very least. You might want to wonder if there's a Santa Monica Pier available on the workshop. There probably is, you know. Yeah, let's go up the storm drains, because we've got a little bit of problem with seepage. It's just overflowing here and there, with the storm drains up here as well. There and there and there. And there, I've got some drowned trees because of it, but I'm not going to mark down the drowned trees. I'm just going to mark down that the water is just seeping. We can't have seeping water now. It's definitely not a thing. Now, start square. I did promise we'd have a look at the start square. These these are put down as markers of where the actual start square is, because obviously once you've loaded the map you can't make it out, there's no markers. So anyway, let's have a look at this start square. Everything on the left here is start square, everything on the right is outside of the start square. Okay, so that's in the start square. Let's follow up the beach here, and this is the corner of the start square there. Everything beyond here, not start square. We'll turn left, and now we'll head up and in. Once again, everything on the left is start square, everything over there, okay, and everything over there is not. You see what I'm saying here? It's not an easy start square. We come up here a little bit more, hang on, there's a hidden one amongst the trees. There it is. And that now is no longer start square ahead, and well, we're going to go across the top of the start square. That's what you're building into. That's not easy. I think a better choice of start square is in order. This is really quite tricky indeed. Not least, how are you going to get up here from the highway? We've got cliffs all the way along the top there. Hang on, where were we? Hang on, I've lost my marker. There it is. Hello, marker. And yeah, where are you actually going to get up to there? I mean, you could follow one of the valleys up, but really, where? How are you going to get up there? I mean, maybe you could put an intersection in here and run it up, but it just doesn't feel right at all. I mean, you could just about make it up the slopes maybe, but yeah, I'm sorry, but I think the start square is a poor choice. We have what I'm going to call parks. I think these are park locations marked out with the trees. I salute actually Ami Polizei for this one. Polizei, sorry, I've been corrected on that one. It's just nice to see where the parks are probably supposed to go. Right, it's your chance to vote now. Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your votes really do count because we put them towards the monthly Viewers' Choice chart show. And yeah. I don't know if this is going to be the best one of the month, but I'll just try and find a good thumbnail position. How about here, I think. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the best map of the month, but you might like it, and that's what matters. Do I like it? Well, not so much. Aesthetically, I think it's a pretty good representation of the area, but it doesn't pop. It just doesn't pop for me. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's just middly. I do like the mountains. Detail. Lots of problems with detail, but it's a 1-to-1 map, and I expected that before we started. The day I see a 1-to-1 map which has got great detail will be the day that I stand up and I applaud. No applause today, 2 stars. Gameplay potential. It's one end or the other, really. Loads of gameplay potential here, and also, that start square as well. So I've got to go down the middle again. This might be a 5-star map for some people. I think middly though is for most. So 3 stars for gameplay. LA Westside True 1-to-1 by Ami Polizei. I applaud 1-to-1 scale maps. I just don't think they work with the game. It's a personal call. Okay, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. You can support the channel for just $1 a month over on Patreon. It really does help me out if you do as well. But if you can't do that, why not watch another one of my shows now and just watch the ad? That would help. That'd be very nice if you could do that. So there's a link on the screen now, and I will catch you later on tonight for something special, and tomorrow for a map that's possibly very special also. You have to wait and see. See you then.